Sir, we'll take 5 more minutes.
Okay.
Because people are joining.
Okay, ma'am. Okay. We'll wait for other people to join. Once you tell me, I'll start off. No issues. Am I audible, ma'am? Hello?
Thank you.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Am I audible? Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, sir. You are audible.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Yes. Yes.
Shall we start, ma'am? It's 2:30. Hello? Shall we start? Am I audible? Shall we start?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much. We'll start off. I would like to give you some brief idea about today's session. Then we'll have a presentation and we'll be learning all that possibly with some time to come. Welcome to all of you. I see a lot of you are from Kannada background and Maharashtrian background. I see a lot of Adnavs like Patils and other people. You also have Tamilians, I guess, and Telugu people. All across India, you are there. Welcome you all. I respect you all basically because you are pursuing engineering. And I am not an engineer. That could be the reason. I'm a former bureaucrat. Then I'm also an expert in communication. I'm on the panel of many organizations. Yeah.
Excuse me, Sachin sir. Madam has some internet connection issue. Please wait for 5 minutes.
Okay.
She will give
a
agenda. She will follow that, and then she will give introduction, and then you start.
Okay, fine.
There is a connection.
Okay, sir.
5 minutes.
No problem. No.
Okay.
Mr. Patil.
Okay.
Sachin, me wait karo. Huh?
Okay, sir. Thank you.
काय म्हणला? मला मराठी येतंय. Don't worry. I'll speak Marathi as well. Yeah. I'll wait.
ओके सर. ते काय आहे सर, ते इंटरनेट कनेक्शन इश्यू झालंय. एकच मिनिट स्टार्ट करतात सर. मॅडम
मी वेट करतो.
ठीक आहे सर.
Actually, accept now. Hello? Sound off, madam. Sound off. Hello? Hello? I request all the participants to mute your systems. I request all the participants to mute yourselves. Please. Sir?
Yeah, ma'am. I'm
Hello?
audible. I'm audible, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yeah, ma'am. Tell me. Yes, ma'am. I'm audible. I'm
We'll start,
listening.
sir. Now you're audible, sir. We'll start it.
Yeah, ma'am. Thank you. Yes, ma'am. Yes, start. Start.
Good afternoon to one and all. With the blessings of Lord Sri Dundeshwara and Sriman Jagadguru Shivalingeshwara Mahaswamigalu Siddha Samsthanamata Nirisosi. I, Professor Sujata Kampti, Faculty, Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering, Hirasugar Institute of Technology, NIRSOSI, welcome you all to the national level webinar on professional communication skills by B. Jaiprakash Rao. On behalf of Principal, HOD, staff, and entire webinar community, I heartily welcome B. Jaiprakash Rao, CEO and Chief Mentor of Skills, a life skills training program Hyderabad to this session. Welcome you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
A warm welcome to you, sir. I extend a very warm. Hello?
Hello, ma'am.
Jaiprakash, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
You would like to share something?
Yeah, ma'am. Thank you very much. Thank you for the brief introduction.
I'll go for your introduction.
Yeah, ma'am.
Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Tell me. You can.
B. Jaiprakash Rao, a teacher by passion and an economist by profession and an expert in taxation and a former bureaucrat. Sir was born on 2nd November 1968. Sir's educational qualifications. Sir completed BSc in 1988 from Osmania University, Hyderabad, MA English in 1995, SV University, Tirupati, PG DMC and J in 1999, at JNU, New Delhi, MA Economics in 2002 from Osmania University. Sir sat for UPSC Civils in 1995 and 96, cleared mains and selected in civil services as an IRS officer. Sir worked as from 1988 to 1995. Sir worked as medical representative and district manager in Messrs. Wakradat Limited and Messrs. American Remedies Limited at various headquarters in India. From 1996 to 2016, Sir was selected as an IRS through UPSC and worked as Assistant Secretary, Economic Affairs, Ministry of Finance, New Delhi, Joint Commissioner of Income Tax, also a passionate teacher in New Delhi, teaching English to students of various levels, including civil services and general studies. Sir is presently running online classes as a freelance trainer for UPSC Civils in Economics and Geography, and also for GATE Verbal Ability, IES General Studies, coaching especially Indian economy and current affairs with strategic analysis in Hyderabad, Bangalore and Chennai, for various institutes like ACE Engineering Academy, Hyderabad, for video classes for Karnataka, their video classes for Karnataka Public Service Commission and SSC JEE. Also at National IAS Academy, Bangalore, for Geography and Legacy IAS Academy, Bangalore, for Indian economy. Surat Chandra IAS Academy, Vijayawada, for ethics and economy. Sir's hobbies are: Sir loves to play chess, Sir loves to read and write, and special interests are analyzing consumer behavior and advertisements, making strategic analysis of current affairs, political and societal issues. Sir is having mastery over many languages. With this brief introduction, I once again welcome B. Jaiprakash Rao, IRS, to this webinar as a resource person. So we are very much lucky to have you as a resource person and will be eager to listen to you. And I request Sir to take over the session.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Dr. Sujata Kamate, for a wonderful analysis and introduction of mine.
Thank you, sir.
I thank you all for this being with me this afternoon. As a bureaucrat, as a journalist, and also as a taxation expert, I play many roles. But the most favorite role I play is of a teacher. And that too, when I teach English or communication skills more than economy and geography, where I am professional. having worked as an economist and I worked in the Department of Finance, naturally for me it's a part of my life where I deal with taxes. But this is something very close to my heart, being a teacher for communication skills. So before we start, we'll ask ourselves, what is a great deal about communication? Why should we learn communication? Why should we have a good command on communication? Because you're all engineers, and I respect engineers for a simple reason. Now, I'm not an engineer, but I respect engineers for a simple reason. If I have to choose one professional whose career is related to development, that's purely engineering. I'll tell you the reason. If I were to choose a medical doctor, maybe an MD or MS or some other specialist, a medical doctor, a physician or surgeon, if he or she were to pray to God, I'm sure he would or she would pray to God for, whatever they do, they earn their money by seeing people sick. And many sick people, when ill people, they go to them. So they make money out of somebody's misery. They make money when somebody is sick. Right? And if I were to choose a journalist who makes money, they make money because of somebody else's problems. Like we are making money out of Sushant Singh case, narcotic. Riya Chakraborty is very famous now, rather notorious now. And if I were to choose a lawyer and advocate, they make money when some people quarrel or they have a dispute. Or if I were to choose a chartered accountant make money when they manage with their balance sheet, and there is a problem with the taxation. But if I were to choose an engineer's career, then they would make money only when the nation develops. An engineer and development are synonymous to each other. And I thank you all for choosing engineering as your career, and you are doing a wonderful job for the country. So am I as for teaching communication to engineers today. So communication, let me explain this in the form of a presentation, a PPT that you can see on your screens. So that would be a basic idea. So what is the problem with communication? Generally, we all have some problem with the communication. Long ago, when I was doing some research in the part of my journalism classes, why the basic problem that we don't understand the other person's perspective, or other person doesn't understand my perspective. Later on, I went on to tell, this is not what I meant, this is what I meant, and you misunderstood me. शायद आपको गलतफहमी हो गई है, आपको गलत समझ में आ गया. ನಾನು ಅಂದದ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಬೇರೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತು ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತೆ. ಇದು ಯಾಕೆ ಆಯ್ತು ತಲೆ ಕೆಡಿಸ್ಕೋಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ, all because of communication is a very pivotal role in our lives. We need to always understand that other person understands from other perspective. When I did analysis, I found one thing. We don't listen to understand. We listen to reply. Always, 9 out of 10 cases, 19 out of 100 people on the earth, we always listen to reply. What I should say, rather what other person is saying, I never understand it. I never try to understand it. So that would be better if you can show you in the form of a PPT, and that will be the part of it. The class session will continue that way. It's wonderful. So we'll be starting with communication skills. So how to define communication skills? I'll show you in a very simple way. I define communication, and the communication is the process by which a person sends messages to another through a particular mode and subsequently gets a feedback. Now try to understand this definition in other practical terms. I say communication is a process. It's a method of expressing our views. by which a person sends messages to another. Now I'm talking to you, you're getting it, you're listening to it. All the time, Professor Sujata was speaking about me and you all heard about it. So generally, it is a one-way process. But now, when I open up the chat box, when I ask you to speak, explain, possibly you can also communicate, you can give a feedback about what exactly we get from the other person. So communication is a two-way process, not that generally we see it is one. So here I'll show you a small poster of effective communication. Today we'll be discussing effective communication as one of the major problems in the world over. Rather, WHO, World Health Organization, talks something about vaccine. Donald Trump says something else. Narendra Modi says something else. Or the British Prime Minister says something else. We all have our own point. We all listen to what other person is saying, but never ever we try to understand it in the reality of it. That is the biggest barrier among all the people we come across. So we need to keep on changing our version so that the other person gets it clearly. So teacher would explain the same concept in 3 to 4 different ways. The only purpose of teacher is to make the student understand his or her point. So communication skill training, a guide to effective communication skills for couples, with friends, in the workplace, and improve non-violent communication. Basically, when I mean communication, I mean only one thing. It should be a non-violent, not shouting at others, not hurting others. You can talk in as a gentle way as possible so that you can help other people understand the reality. So look at all the positive words. Yes, hello, thank you, hi. All these words make so wonderful in your communication. You can add them generously. Now, here, as I already told you, what is the biggest problem in communication? What is the problem that we have in a communication? We all face this problem. So what is that basic problem we have in communication? The problem is we all listen to reply and not to understand. We all understand this. You always understand this. We always do this. We always listen to reply, not to understand. Be careful about this particular statement. I'm making a remark. Maybe you don't come under the particular category, but next time when someone is talking to you, make sure don't give a reply immediately. Take your time. Be objective. Maybe the person is talking about you, how your behavior, your habits, your personality, something like this. All right. Don't react. Don't react at all. Take your own time. Take a deep breath. Listen to what other person is saying about me. All right. This is what Dr. Sujata has to tell about Jayaprakash. All right. Very good. Listen. Listen. Yes. People talk good about us. People talk bad about us. They talk very good in front of us. They talk bad about our back. All right. Listen to all that. Don't react. The best part of communication is not to react immediately. In interviews and all, yes, you need to give a reply. There's no denial in this. But take your time. Take a few seconds. Think well before you can answer. Probably that's the reason God has given us 2 ears and 1 mouth. So, listen more, talk less. That's the beauty of communication. Like many people say that communication is all about speaking. No, communication is all about listening. In fact, a couple of days ago, we have celebrated, 10 days ago, we have celebrated Ganesh Chaturthi. You observe Lord Ganesha, he has 2 large ears that indicate that we listen more to clearly. Take your own time in digesting the information. Don't react immediately. That's going to be detrimental to your career. Listen to people very carefully at the same time. Understand tone of their speech. Look at the word tone. How they speak. What they speak. How they speak is another important aspect. The tone is to be maintained. So that plays a vital role in understanding the other person from the other person's perspective. Right. Now, I'll give you a case to all of you to understand so that we can understand the reality or the problem of the communication in real terms. Jay, or my name, Jay Prakash, Jay has been one of the most active members in the project. Now, in an organization, there are many people, like in a staff of a college or in an organization, there are team members, there are staff members. There are many people who are working in an organization. And we have one fellow by name, Jay. And he has done a wonderful job. He's a very active fellow, very talented, very effective, very efficient. What all the good adjectives you can give to him, you can give it to him. Punctual, disciplined, everything wonderful. Wonderful about that person. He's technically brilliant. Again, a wonderful person. Technically, he's very sound. But he has some problems. Like all good things always come with little problems. Will he be able to communicate his performance to the client in an impressive manner so that he's chosen? All that we talk good about a person. When it comes to the selection of it, in a team, the person is working. In a person, somebody has to be selected. Your boss has to recommend your name to somebody's project. So how will you do it? How will you cope up with it? So the effort starts today. Today when you're in the college, today when you're learning, you have to practice it. You have to practice speaking. And never ever I mean to say that it should be only English. Okay, English is a professional language. All people follow English, agree. And you learn engineering in English, there's no second thought about it. But the beauty is your ability to speak other languages as well. ನೀವು ಕನ್ನಡ ಮಾತಾಡೋದಾದ್ರೆ ಕನ್ನಡ ಮಾತಾಡಿ ಅದು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಮಾತಾಡಿ మరాఠీ బోల్తాదా మరాఠీ బోలా మీరు తెలుగు మాట్లాడేవాళ్ళు తెలుగు మాట్లాడండి శుభ్రంగా మాట్లాడండి చక్కగా మాట్లాడండి హిందీ बोलते हो तो अच्छी तरह बोलिएगा सही बोलिएगा ना ఇప్పుడు మా తమిళ్ பேசணும் நல்ல తమిళ్ பேசணும் so I can use as many languages to prove that yes, communication is a tool where it gives you success in your life. Okay. So the question here is, will he be able to be selected in the team or with a particular onset project or wherever he is going to work? Why does his teammate not prefer to come to him for solution and go to less capable people instead? When you're really talented, when you're technically capable, why don't your colleagues come to you help? I mean, why don't they come and ask you help? Why they keep you away? Why they don't mingle with you? Why don't they take you along? You know, imagine a very brilliant person is away from because he has a problem. He's an introvert. He has a communication problem. The person cannot express his or her ideas openly. His project manager doesn't seem to be very warm towards him either. Even the boss, the immediate boss, is not, I mean, he likes you, she likes you, but all right. They'll keep it at arm's distance. Although he does drop in those occasional mails appreciating. You're done a technically wonderful job. There's no second thought about it. But you're not recommended for certain projects. You're not recommended for certain accreditations. You're not sent for some important issues of the job. Now, here's a typical scenario in an IT company. I have taken IT company because that is the talk of the town. So everybody is talking about IT jobs. We talk about AI. We talk about machine learning. We talk about Hadoop. We talk about all the things I don't know. Python, vagara, vagara. So I use that example. Nor, for that matter, any organization. It can be a college. It can be a university. It can be a manufacturing part. It can be a bank. It can be a government department. It can be many reasons. So where interpersonal communication is involved. Interpersonal is a very simple word between one person and the other person. When two persons meet, invariably they discuss, they talk, they exchange their views. Then what do? How will you explain? How will you talk? What you talk is all about your personality. And that's what a old English joke says: when two gentlemen meet, they talk, they discuss weather. Or two ordinary people meet, they discuss politics. The two lowest level people meet, they talk personal things. When your shirt, your tie, your perfume, your haircut, that's not communication. Or talk about others. You're talking about yourself, understandable, but talk about others is the worst thing that can ever happen. So communication. So interpersonal skills. Or like in Jay's case, where an employee is suffering from lack of interpersonal skills. Lack of skills. Lack of having interpersonal skills is what matters. So here comes communication, here comes skills, and how am I going to learn that? Verbal ability is one area. Because if you have chosen a path of management, then you would not end your career there. After engineering, for better prospects, you would like to have maybe a management degree, a management qualification, maybe an MBA. You know, I didn't limit myself with an English or economy. I did a postgrad diploma in communication journalism. But I thought, yeah, I could have a better career once I'm done with my job. Probably I can become a journalist, I can write. So I learned communication. Then I realized that many school-going children, many professionals, many students, they lack communication. That's where it hurts. Because India is such an abundantly talented country. We have everything you ask for. We have huge talent resources. We have huge talent to pool. But then we are not comfortable when exchanging views, and that plays an important role in your career. So, all recruiting agencies, even in your college, when the campus placement takes place, when the campus people come, maybe it can be Infosys or Wipro or TCS, Adobe, Cognizant, Accenture, Kirloskar, Hitachis, all these people when they come, or telecom giants come, maybe Reliance comes, Airtel comes, and all these people when they come for hiring, and they come for shopping bag to hire candidates from your college. Apart from your technical knowledge, the most important focus for you is invariably the communication. They test your communication skills. In fact, every advertisement for job asks for people with excellent communication skills. People with effective communication skills are preferred. Now I'll open the box here. I want someone to tell me whether you can participate in the discussion. I mean, for all of you. You can just raise your hand or something like this. I can take you to the question. If there are 4 equally good candidates in front of me, equally good, when all of them have equal amount of knowledge, their mark sheet talks equally things, everything is wonderful. Otherwise, they're very good. But I need to pick up only one candidate. Only one candidate I need. Other are 4 equally capable candidates sitting in front of me. Would any one of you brand me unfair if I pick that person with better communication skills as the candidate I want? Am I doing any injustice to anyone if I pick up a person with a better communication skills? Anyone can answer this question. Everything is done. Mr. Subramanian Reddy says soft skills. Basically, soft skills are a part of communication skills. What I'm trying to say is, do you brand me unfair? Or you think that I have done some injustice to somebody if I choose one with a better communication skills for the job I need. Am I fair or unfair? मैं सही कर रहा हूं या गलत किया मैंने? Yeah, Harshita says no sir, definitely not. You are right. Thank you, beta ji. Changa ho yaar. Changa, very good, very good, very good. So, of all that, what matters is our communication. The only yardstick with which I'm measured is my communication. My success in a career, my success in a job is determined by my career. All of us have shortcomings. I'm not trying to say that the moment you're born, you have become an expert in learning a language and all. I never said anything like that. But what I definitely mean to say is, yes, there is an opportunity for us to learn it. And by learning, you don't have to become an expert author or something like that. You can just practice these things by doing something on a daily basis, like reading a newspaper. The best way to learn communication is read newspaper, write something, but be in the process of learning it. So we'll go to the PPT part. Thank you, Ms. Harshita, for the answer. So, what is verbal ability? Verbal language ability. Ability of a language skill is the one usually tested by all the recruiting organizations to assess the candidate's language skills, both written and spoken, in the form of 1. Reading comprehension, 2. Functional grammar, 3. English usage, 4. Vocabulary. There are 4 ways we look at it. Now, one of you may ask me, what happens if I don't read? Or what happens if I don't follow communication skills? I'll tell you what happens when we don't have good skills of language. I'll tell you a story happened in my office long back, around 12 years or 14 years ago, I don't know, 13 years ago, somewhere. One of my officers came to me with a leave letter. He had a leave letter in his hand and he was applying for leave. What is the issue? What happened? Because the boss, I need to ask, why are you going on leave? Kya hoga, chutti maang rahe ho, kya ho gaya? And that man wrote in English. Writing leave letter in English is a prestige issue in the office. So he wrote a leave letter. The leave letter was reading something like this. The word was something like this. Sir, my wife is not feeling well and I'm the only husband available at home. So please grant me leave. Now, this is what happens when we don't learn English. I don't know what does anyone mean by I'm the only husband available at home. So, we have to understand the person's ability to communicate. You mean to say that he's the only person available at home. When you say I'm the only person, there ends it. But if you're the only husband, then definitely it's not an accept way of speaking. We all have our shortcomings. I'm not, in that point of time, I'm not denying that we don't have it. So, reading comprehension, read and comprehend. Functional grammar, day-to-day usage of English language. And English usage, idiomatic English, words, and all vocabulary are the 4 parts of language. Now comes the question. Is your English good enough? We always ask other people, is your English good enough? क्या हम जो अंग्रेजी जो बोलते हैं क्या वो सही मात्रा में सही बोलते हैं हम लोग? क्या हम जो अंग्रेजी बोलते हैं सही है? ನಾವು ಮಾತಾಡೋ ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ಯಾವುದಾದ್ರು ನಮ್ಮ ಆಫೀಸ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತೀವ, ಇಲ್ಲಂದ್ರೆ ಸೊಸೈಟಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತೀವ, ಅದು ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆ? हम चांगला अंग्रेजी बोलता का आम्ही? You can't say, because we all have our own yardstick as far as English is concerned. Each of us have our own way of speaking English. Beautiful, but we have our shortcomings. For a simple reason, we all have something called mother tongue influence. It takes a lot of effort to overcome this particular practice of speaking a neutral accent. We all should speak neutral accent. That can help you gain. A neutral part of your language can help the other person understand your language better. We all have different versions of English. When we speak from Punjabi accent, we speak a Maharashtrian accent, we speak a Kannadiga like, we speak like a Tamilian, we speak like a Malayali, we speak like Andhra. We all have our own way of speaking. So one of the most important aspects is bringing a neutral accent to your language. Like Bengali have bongs, where Bengali people have a different accent, and totally together they speak a different way of English. So we all have different way of speaking. So first thing, when you are trying to learn English and try to use English, try as much as possible to make your tone, your voice, and your accent neutral. It should be plain. I never mean to say that you borrow your accent from any other foreign country language and you can't speak that kind of an English. No, don't do that. Be Indian. Be very much Indian. But that should be devoid of any kind of accent. Don't try to borrow any accent that can harm your speaking. Yeah. So make sure that you have that part. So, is your English good enough? I don't have an iota of apprehension. I don't have an iota of suspicion. So I said, yes. Unequivocally, the answer is yes. Without even a bit of confusion, I say, yes, you speak very good English. We all Indians speak very good English. So we have the ability to speak English the way it has to be. So we all have that command on at least 2 languages. Now most of you are from Belagavi, if I can guess. If I understand that you all are from Belagavi area, am I right? I guess you are from Belagavi surrounding areas. Yeah. No. No, Ani Ansar is not from Belagavi. Kakevada? Mangalore. Okay, Mangalore. Bangalore. Okay. Adru Parvailla. Adru. Okay. Maite. You speak Marathi, Kannada. Davangere. Yeah, we have Bidar. Yeah. So we have Telugu as well. Aurangabad. Barve. Gulbarga. Kalaburgi. This Namrata, you should be Kalaburgi. Papa Nima Siddaramaya or Estella Kastapattu, Hesrala change Madidartane. New Gulbarga Andre Papa Tundara Gatunodi. Oi, Nepal. Very good, beta. Very good. So, each of you, now we know what I mean to say. You have more than 2 languages at your disposal. या तो हम हिंदी बोलते हैं आप ही की तरह, लेकिन हमारी हिंदी थोड़ा अलग होता है आपकी. अगर हम दिल्ली की भाषा बोलते तो अलग से बोलते हैं. अपनी मादरी चेन्नई मद्रास भाषे तमिळ्नಲ್ಲ ಪೇಸವರಾದ ಉಂಗಳ ಮಾದರಿ ಆತರ ನಿಮ್ಮ ತರ ಕನ್ನಡ ನಾನು ಮಾತಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯವಾಗುವುದಿಲ್ಲ. ಇಂಥ ಧಾರಾಳವಾಗಿ ಮಾತಾಡಲಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಆಗ್ಲಿ ನಿಮ್ಮ ತರ ಅಲ್ಲ. So what happens here is we are using an accent. Now I'm not trying to ask you to look at my language. So try to understand the importance of using a language. At the Marathi bolte tar Marathi tara. It should be like a Marathi. Mala kalate, mala yete. So similarly, we should be able to use Kannada. If Kannada ಮಾತಾಡಿದ್ರೆ Kannada ಆಗಿರಬೇಕು. Kannada ಭಾಷೆ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೋ Atharve. A style irabbe. Atharane English. English should also be like English. Don't borrow your mother tongue influence into English. So that's a very, very important aspect of your communication. So let's go to the practical aspect of it, and I'll tell you what is unequivocally the answer is yes. There's no second thought about it. But let us not become complacent. I'm being very, very careful about it. Let us not become complacent. Let us not become overconfident. Complacent means overconfident. This is one bad habit that we Indians have it. थोड़ी शाबाशी मिल गई, वाह वाह क्या किया गया, हम लोग चढ़ जाती है ना. Success goes to head. So make sure. Let us not become complacent. नंबर overconfident नहीं होना है हमको. बस आराम से जमीन पे खड़े होके बात करनी है. To assess ourselves, to know where do we stand as far very, very common English is concerned. So now you keep a paper and a pen with you. Okay. Keep a paper and a pen with you. If you have one paper and a pen or a pencil nearby, है क्या आपके पास? कागज कलम कुछ है? हाँ, तो एक पास में रख लो. मैं आपको, हाँ जी, ओए चंगाओ जी, हमारा वो, keep it. So I'm going to give you some very, very, जी है, प्रिया जी, चंगा है, चंगा है. चंगा means very good. हम पंजाबी लोग ऐसे बोलते हैं. ठीक है. तो we have, I'll give you, हाँ बड़ा, चंगा हो जी, चंगा है जी. तो हम क्या करेंगे अभी? So we'll have 10 small questions, one line sentences. मैं ज्यादा तकलीफ नहीं दूंगा आपको, बस थोड़ी बहुत सताना है मुझको. हम आपको 10 सेंटेंस देंगे, 10 sentences. Then we'll see how good is our English. Again, I'm trying to say that no point of time, even iota of apprehension about your English skills. No. We never mean to say that, no, see, you don't. I never said. I never do that as well. You all can speak very good English, provided we are going to take 10 simple sentences to assess ourselves, where do we stand. Otherwise, giving a lecture and running away is very good. That's the job. You all can say, ma'am, you speak very well, thank you very much. Over, there ends the matter. But what's the point when I haven't learned something? Every session should teach us something. From a teacher comes into your classroom, you learn something from it. That should be the idea. I'm giving you 10 sentences now, one after the other. Try to write the correct answer. I mean, there is something wrong with the sentence. गलती तो है बेटा. Every sentence has something wrong. आपको ये पकड़नी है कि क्या गलती है उसमें. Right, let's go now. So, to assess ourselves, let's answer some simple questions which are usually tested in recruitment tests. I have borrowed this from different recruitment tests, and I've given you some simple tests. Write down the answers. Don't worry about right or wrong. Give your best, because no prize will be given for correct answer. Here are some simple questions. We are sure you can answer. I and Hirasa Sugar College, your professors, your department of VC, we all are very confident that you will be able to answer them correctly. However, these sentences look pretty ordinary. The biggest problem with this sentence is they look very, very ordinary sentence. But there is a small flaw, small error in each of these sentences. Every sentence has some minor error somewhere. Your job is to write a correct way of writing the sentence. Don't have to show it to anyone, don't have to share. You are your own master. You are correcting yourself. Okay? Chale. So we are going with the test now. Yeah. So let's start with it. Mr. Rao is our physics teacher. Mr. Rao is our physics teacher. Write down, I think there is something wrong in it. आपको नहीं लगता कि ये गलत है, लेकिन इसमें गलती है. हम जानते हैं कि आपको क्या लगा है, इसमें क्या गलती है, आप लिख लो बेटा कहीं भी. My all brothers are engineers. My all brothers are engineers. He shall return the car after 1 week. He shall return the car after 1 week. There is no other alternative. There is no other alternative. I have learned this answer word by word. I'll give 1 minute time. अभी को लिखना है तो लिख लो बेटा. बर्तकोली बेकादरे एरंद कम्मा लियूंगा 1 मिनिट देतो मी तुम्हाला लियूंगा. So let's go to the next 5 questions. You wrote down the correct answers in your notebook. We are going to the next 5 questions. It's a female compartment. Close the door at once. It is possible to score cent% marks in mathematics. Please speak to the concerned authority. Our teacher will take our test tomorrow. I repeat, it is a female compartment. Close the door at once. It is possible to score cent% marks in mathematics. Please speak to the concerned authority. Our teacher will take our test tomorrow. Another 1 minute time for you to write them down or write down the errors part. Chalo. So I gave you 10 sentences. You saw all the 10 sentences. And as I told you, they look pretty ordinary. सारे के सारे एकदम आपको लगता है यार इसमें क्या गलती है ಇದರೊಳಗೆ ಏನು ತಪ್ಪಿದೆ ಅಂತ ನೀವು ಕಾಣಿಸುತ್ತೆ ಆಗ್ಲಿ ಪರವಾಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅದರೊಳಗೆ ತಪ್ಪಿದೆ. There is something wrong. There is something wrong in each sentence. We'll be looking at it how the sentence goes now, and I'll begin with the correct answer. Now, there is no competition. There's no test for yourself. Just feel for yourself. If you have to work on it, please do. It's not a big deal. In fact, we Indians are lucky enough, and your generation is lucky enough. And compared to our generation, whenever we came across any book or any magazine or anything like this, we had to go all the way to library. We had to write down the notes. For example, if I tell you economic theory called Ricardian equivalence or Laffer's curve or Phillips curve, some graph and all. So we used to go to the particular book. That book was not available in the library, so we used to take some other source or wait for the book to come back to the library. Somebody has a reference book, it's not available, somebody else is reading it. So take it down, write down the graph. You don't understand so easily. Again, go to professor, catch hold of the professor. Then we know the value of teacher. You are also doing good. Nowhere I'm trying to say, but when compared to our generation, your generation, When you are your HOD, Ravi sir is there, or your professor ma'am, Sujata ma'am, we all know that the way we treated our teachers and the way you treat your teachers, there is some difference. So even iron classes for UPSC, मिलते हैं, हमें भी मिलते हैं, अच्छे मिलते हैं, थोड़े हल्के से भी रहते हैं, लेकिन हल्के हैं. I gotta respect, because you all are Google-oriented children now. You have everything at your fingertips. You have everything. So it's easy for you to learn than what we have struggled to learn. Maybe that is one reason why probably we can read and understand much more data than you have. If I were to go to Google and type global warming, Google will very easily tell me 0.12 seconds, they'll give me 21,000 sites or 210,000 sites in 0.12 seconds. What will I do with that kind of information, data? I don't need that. I need one book which is comprehensive and I can understand, I can comprehend what is given there. There ends the job. My job is there by learning the subject. So your effort to learn is all the more better when you can look at it. Now we are trying to get the answers for the questions we saw, the 10 sentences we saw, where I told you that there is an error in each of the sentences. प्रत्येक वाक्य में कहीं ना कहीं एक गलत है, कहीं गलती है. आपको ये पकड़ना था कि कहाँ गलती हो गई. So we'll be learning those 10 sentences. Now I'm very sure you all have done very well. Even if you're not, by one or two mistakes are quite common, you all are prone to that, but never mind. Don't take it seriously, but learn a lesson. Because our mistakes are our very good teachers. They help us learn with all the more vigor and rigor. So we are going with the sentences now. We are going to see the answers for the questions, the sentences we have solved. Now, here we go. Start. Well, the correct way of writing these sentences is, Mr. Rao is our teacher of physics. We can't say physics teacher. That would be worse if I say, Mr. Rao is our English teacher. You can't say English teacher, he has to say teacher of English. Because English teacher necessarily means he has come from England. Mr. Rao has not come from England. He is not an Englishman, he is not a British man. He is very much Indian like us, but he deals with a subject called English. So Rao is not an English teacher, he is a teacher in English. So Mr. Rao is our teacher of physics. All my brothers are engineers. All the engineers are my brothers. You can't say that. So what we say? All my brothers are engineers. He shall return the car in 1 week, not within 1 week or something like this. He said in 1 week. There is no alternative. This is a very beautiful way of writing English in the simplest possible way. We always say the other alternative. What is alternative? Alternative itself is other option. So we can't say other alternative in English. So there is no alternative. Enough. When will you return back my book? That's sufficient. We can't say return back my book. Yeah. You can't ask somebody, can you repeat again? No. Can you repeat? Repeat itself is say it again. So we can't say. Now, I have learned this answer word for word, not word by word. Word for word. You learn word for word. Yeah. It's a ladies' compartment. It's not a female compartment. Cannot be a female man. Female compartment, railway compartment cannot be female. It's got to be a ladies' compartment. A compartment meant for ladies. Only ladies are allowed to sit in that seat. Yeah. Don't ever say close the door.
expected we expected to impart the learning.
Hello, Mr. Deepesh. Mr. Deepesh. Mr. Deepesh, please mute your microphone. Please mute your microphone, Mr. Deepesh.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So we say, close the door, close the window. No, close is the wrong word. Shut. Shut the door. The very such a simple way of speaking. It is possible to score 100% marks in math. Don't say 70%. 100% marks. Please speak to the authority concerned. Don't say concerned authority in English. Authority concerned. Our teacher will give us a test tomorrow, not take a test tomorrow. You will take test tomorrow. Your teacher will give us a test tomorrow. Right. So we have the 10 answers, 10 questions. Very well done. I will not ask you results because you know it for yourself. Where do we stand as far as our performance is concerned? Even if you think you need to a little more improvement, yes, don't hesitate to start today. Whatever you have to start today, start. In fact, there is no bad day to start a good work. यदि आपको शुरुआत करनी है तो आज ही करिएगा, कोई दिक्कत नहीं बेटा. ಇವತ್ತೇ ಶುರು ಮಾಡಿಬಿಡಿ. ಯಾವುದಾದ್ರೂ ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಕೆಲಸ ಆದ್ರೆ ಇವತ್ತು ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. You can start off learning and practice it. Yes. And you have done well. You have done 10 out of 10 wonderful correct answers. Very good. Don't become complacent. Learn more. Learn. Because they are very, very basic sentences. There are many areas where we do not perform so correctly. So keep writing, keep learning. Now, here comes a question. Like many of your classmates and other people of your age, students, they always ask us this question. Why should I read? Why should I read generally? What happens if I don't read? I have no specific answer for that question. That why should you read? We should read because we have to gain knowledge. And we are judged by the kind of knowledge we have. Unfortunately, the truth is that your family name doesn't matter. Your bank balance doesn't matter. Your educational qualifications do not matter. So, young ones, that should be the way we can, they should work on it when we can start working, learn it. And I think it's more than an hour for us to the time given to us. Can I extend by another few minutes?
Yes, sir.
Please, sir. Please.
Yeah, thank you, thank you, thank you. So, what matters to us in the society? As I told you, in a very simple case. If I were to choose one among 4 equally capable candidates, I would choose the candidate with excellent communication skills as the only benchmark for me to have the leader. The leaders communicate effectively. And you have to be leader. But there are many followers. Leaders are very few. And we are none of the born leader. We need to inculcate a habit of leadership quality. And leadership quality comes from only one aspect, that is gaining knowledge. Read as much as possible. जितनी पढ़नी है पढ़ डालिए, अभी पढ़िएगा, आगे चल के टाइम नहीं मिलेगा आपको. You don't get so much of time that you have leisure. Now I've been reading and writing a lot for the past 5 months. I think I finished off around close to 240 books. And I wrote many blogs, papers. I published many. Okay, it's an additional income to find. That helps you be active. And when Dr. Ravi was asking me to talk to you all for 1 hour on one particular day, I've been postponing for the more than a month or so. And in fact, after your session, 5 o'clock, I have another session of the GDP part. All economists in India, around 24, are assembling to discuss the fallout of the consequence of GDP down. What is going to happen to Indian economy? That could be the topic. 5 to 6:30, it could be that. Tell me truth, young ones. How you become great or successful in life? How will people remember you? How will people know you? They know you only with one thing, knowledge. Your knowledge is the only yardstick for the world to measure you. Not the way you dress up, not the way you live, not the way you walk, or the car you go in. No. No. The only thing is how you speak and what you speak. That's what matters. So, that should be the part of it. Thank you very much for giving this opportunity, meeting all this part. Now I'm opening the chat box. If you have any question to ask, please ask. I'm there for next 5 minutes. You can ask me questions. I'll be answering. You can post your questions. You want to ask something, you can ask me. I'm there for next 5 minutes. बेटा सभी के लिए कह रहा हूँ जो पूछना पूछ लीजिए. Yeah, you can ask me through mic also. You want, I can unmute you.
Any questions?
Yeah, you can ask me through mic as well. Not necessarily typing, you can. I never wanted you to thank or saying that very good and all. Fine. But any questions you can ask me. All right. You don't want to ask anything now, but you can send a mail to the department and department will route it to me. So they can send across to me and they can. So thank you very much. Thank you, Dr. Ravi, Principal. Thank you, Sujata ma'am. And thank you all for being with me today. And I did really enjoy. And I don't know how you felt, but I hope it was good. Thank you very much for all of you. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am.
Sir,
I have a question.
Sir, how do you measure? So sound noise is there.
Can you type it, huh?
It's fine, sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sir,
Who are you, beta?
how do we measure the effectiveness of an individual's communication?
How do you measure?
Yeah. What is the measure of a person's
Major aspect of it.
communication?
Major aspect.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
just as an analyst, how can
Okay,
one
okay,
measure
analyst.
it?
Okay, right. I got it, beta. I got it. Yeah. So who are you and where are you from?
Yes.
You didn't tell your name, beta ji. Anyway,
No.
doesn't matter. Yeah, fine. I'll answer your question. Generally, when we speak like I'm doing right now, you talk to your friends and all. Basically, there are 3 sessions where we all come across. One is informal session. Informal, you can chat, you can do a casual talk. Then there is formal, that is office kind of a thing. Then third is where you meet somebody for the first time, like interviews and all. Interview, panel discussions, and these things would have a different levels of interpretations. When you talk, people understand in a different way. So we need to be careful about the situation you are in. You are along with your friends, a little loose talk will do. Never mind. Some slip of tongue also, they take it easy. But interviews, because your career matters. Whereas the panel discussions or your personality matters. So most important for communication is the situation you are in. The situation is what matters to us when you speak. Otherwise, you speak very well. But situation sometimes demands a special characteristic. That is the analysis activity. Yeah. Next.
Hello, sir.
Anybody else?
Yes, please.
Yeah, we have this Subhashini. She's asking, can you suggest some books to read? I don't know. I don't know how to answer Ms. Subhashini. Great books to read.
Please, sir.
All books are great. Yeah, Mr. Hemant, I'll come to you. All books are great. There is no bad book on the earth. Some books tell you what to do. Some books tell you what not to do. So all books by nature, they're good. Otherwise, you can't write a book. All right. Again, it depends on individual choice, but your choice, you can pick. But make it variety. Today you're reading sociology, tomorrow you read scientific technology. Then you can read economy. Add spice to reading. Don't read the same thing again, it becomes boring to some time. You start with fiction, then you go for scientific fiction, then slowly read variety. It's called eclectic reading. Eclectic is bringing different varieties of reading. Yeah, Mr. Barve, your question, please.
Yes, thank you, sir, giving me an opportunity
Good,
to
sir.
learn so many things from you. Sir, my question is that we understand written English, but most of the times we find to speak English fluently or naturally.
Yeah.
So for that matter, what we should do?
Yeah. That's a good question, Mr. Barve. What happens here is, when you read, there's only one way of writing. But when you hear me, there are different accents coming. For mother tongue influence, we call it. So we all have a different accents to speak. So as long as you have a neutral accent, it's not a problem. But when other accents, yes, there is a problem. But try to listen to many people and try to listen to news channels when they speak English. Try to follow it. That's the only way you get it from practice. There's no thumb rule for it that we can learn it overnight. No, we don't have possibility. We don't follow all books.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Ms. Mayuri. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Ms. Mayuri, pick the book you understand. Pick the book you understand, then slowly increase your difficulty level. You need to graduate to books. It's not that you learn books. Start with Jeffrey Archer or Arthur Haley, Sidney Sheldon. Then you can go to scientific fiction like Arthur Haley or Bertrand Russell. Then comes a day where comes Carl Sagan or Ayn Rand. Thank you very much for all of you being with me. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
It was nice session. It is a great success, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you all for your patient listening. We'll end the session.